Welcome, dear listeners, to this special bedtime story. Tonight, we are going to take a peaceful journey to a secluded Hawaiian beach. Imagine yourself on a soft, golden sand beach, with the gentle sound of waves lapping at the shore. Palm trees sway lightly in the warm breeze, and the air is filled with the sweet scent of tropical flowers. The sky above is a canvas of colors, painted by the setting sun, transitioning into a blanket of twinkling stars. Before we begin, let's make sure you are comfortable and ready to relax. Lie down in your bed, get cozy under your blanket, and rest your head on your pillow. Close your eyes and take a deep breath in. Then slowly breathe out. Feel the tension in your body melt away with each breath. Now, let's relax each part of your body. Start with your toes. Wiggle them a little and then let them relax. Next, move to your feet. Feel them sink into the mattress as you release any tightness. Let this relaxation spread up to your ankles and calves, feeling your legs become heavy and calm. Focus on your knees and thighs, letting go of any stress. Feel your hips relax into the bed. Now, let your stomach and chest soften, noticing how your breath moves in and out, slow and steady. Let your back and shoulders relax, feeling them sink into the bed, releasing any tension. Move your attention to your arms, from your shoulders down to your elbows, and then to your wrists and hands. Let your fingers rest comfortably. Feel your neck and jaw relax, letting go of any tightness. Soften your face, letting your eyes, cheeks, and forehead smooth out. Take another deep breath in, and as you slowly breathe out, feel your whole body relax even more. Imagine yourself lying on the soft sand of the Hawaiian beach, the sound of gentle waves in the background, and a cool breeze brushing against your skin. Now that you are completely relaxed, let's begin our story. As you listen, let your mind travel to this beautiful place, allowing the peaceful images and sounds to fill your thoughts. Let the story guide you into a restful and soothing sleep. Emma and Jack arrived at the beach just as the sun began to set. The sand was soft and golden, stretching out in a long, wide expanse. Tiny grains slipped between their toes as they walked. The water lapped gently at the shore, creating small, foamy waves that left dark, wet patches on the sand. No. Palm trees lined the edge of the beach, their tall trunks rising high with broad, green fronds swaying in the light breeze. The leaves rustled softly, making a gentle, whispering sound. Small clusters of colorful flowers grew around the base of the trees, their petals bright and vibrant in shades of red, yellow, and pink. The sky above was a canvas of colors. The setting sun painted it in shades of pink, orange, and purple. the colors reflected on the water, giving the waves a shimmering, colorful glow. Seagulls flew overhead, their white feathers standing out against the colorful sky. They swooped and called out, their cries echoing across the open space. Small crabs scuttled across the sand near the water's edge, leaving tiny tracks behind them. The occasional shell lay half buried in the sand, some smooth and white, others rough and brown. Driftwood pieces were scattered here and there, bleached by the sun and worn smooth by the water. Emma and Jack walked along the beach, their footprints marking a trail behind them. The air was warm, carrying the faint scent of salt and flowers. As the sun dipped lower, the sky turned a deeper shade of purple, and stars began to appear, twinkling faintly at first. The moon, a pale crescent, hung low in the sky, casting a soft glow over the beach. They chose a spot near a cluster of palm trees, where the sand was slightly firmer. It was close enough to the water to hear the waves clearly, but far enough to be safe from the rising tide. They put down their bags and began to set up their tent, working methodically and efficiently. Emma unrolled the tent while Jack assembled the poles. They pushed the poles through the fabric, creating a sturdy frame. The tent was a simple, dome-shaped structure with a waterproof cover and mesh windows for ventilation. Once the frame was up, they secured it to the ground with metal stakes, driving them into the sand with a small mallet. Next, they laid out a thick, comfortable blanket inside the tent. It was large enough for both of them to lie down on. They placed their sleeping bags on top, unzipping them to use as covers for the warm night. Outside the tent, they set up a small folding table and 2 chairs, positioning them close to where they planned to build a fire. Emma and Jack began setting up their campsite. Emma took out the tent, unrolling it carefully on the sand. The tent was made of durable, dark green fabric. She spread it out flat, smoothing out the wrinkles with her hands. Jack opened the bag with the tent poles, pulling out each piece and laying them out in order. The poles were made of lightweight aluminum, each section clicking into place with a soft snap. Jack started assembling the frame, connecting the poles together. He pushed the poles through the fabric sleeves of the tent, making sure they slid in smoothly. Emma held the tent steady, adjusting it as Jack worked. Once the poles were in place, Jack lifted the tent, creating a sturdy, dome-shaped structure. Emma secured the corners of the tent with metal stakes, driving them into the sand with a small mallet. With the tent standing, Emma and Jack moved on to setting up the interior. Emma unzipped the tent door, holding it open while Jack carried in their gear. They laid out a thick, comfortable blanket on the floor of the tent. The blanket was large enough for both of them to stretch out on. Next, they placed their sleeping bags on top of the blanket, unzipping them to use as covers. The sleeping bags were made of soft, insulated material providing warmth for the night. Outside the tent, they set up a small folding table and 2 chairs. The table was made of lightweight plastic with foldable legs for easy transport. The chairs were collapsible, with sturdy frames and fabric seats. They positioned the table and chairs close to the tent, leaving enough space for a small fire pit. Jack gathered some driftwood and small branches from the beach, piling them up near the fire pit. He arranged the wood in a neat stack, ready for lighting. Emma unpacked their cooking supplies, placing a small pot and a pan on the table. She also set out a cooler with food and drinks, making sure everything was within easy reach. Emma and Jack turned their attention to preparing dinner. Jack took a lighter from his pocket and crouched by the fire pit. He struck the lighter, producing a small flame. Carefully, he held it to the kindling at the base of the wood stack. The kindling caught fire, small flames flickering and growing. Jack blew gently on the flames, encouraging them to spread to the larger pieces of wood. Soon, a warm fire crackled in the fire pit. The flames danced and flickered, casting a golden glow on the surrounding sand. Jack adjusted the wood, making sure the fire burned steadily. Emma opened the cooler and took out fresh fish, wrapped in foil. She placed the foil packets on the folding table, along with a small container of salt and pepper. Jack set a metal grill over the fire, positioning it securely on the edges of the fire pit. He placed the foil-wrapped fish on the grill, the foil crinkling slightly as it heated. The smell of cooking fish soon filled the air. Emma sliced a few pieces of tropical fruit, their vibrant colors bright against the white cutting board. She placed the fruit on a plate, setting it on the table next to the cooking supplies. As the fish cooked, Emma and Jack prepared the rest of their meal. They took out marshmallows, skewers, and a small bag of crackers and chocolate. Emma handed a skewer to Jack, and they each speared a marshmallow on the end, holding the skewers over the fire. They watched as the marshmallows turned golden brown, the edges crisping and bubbling. Jack checked the fish, using a fork to carefully peel back the foil. The fish was cooked through, flaky and tender. He removed the foil packets from the grill, setting them on the table. Emma added the grilled fish to their plates, along with the sliced fruit. They sat at the folding table, their plates filled with food. The firelight cast a warm glow on their faces as they ate. The fish was seasoned simply with salt and pepper, its natural flavors enhanced by the grilling. The tropical fruit was sweet and juicy, a refreshing complement to the savory fish. After finishing their main meal, Emma and Jack toasted a few more marshmallows over the fire. They sandwiched the marshmallows between crackers and chocolate, creating gooey, sweet treats. The chocolate melted slightly, mixing with the warm marshmallow, They savored each bite, enjoying the simple pleasure of their fireside dessert. The fire crackled softly, its flames casting dancing shadows on the sand. The waves continued their steady rhythm, providing a calming backdrop to their meal. Emma and Jack finished their dessert, setting their plates and skewers aside. The night was quiet, with only the sounds of the fire and the ocean to accompany them. Their dinner was complete, and the beach remained a serene, beautiful place under the starry sky. With dinner finished, Emma and Jack began to clean up their campsite. They placed the used plates, skewers, and utensils in a small plastic bin. Emma wiped down the folding table with a damp cloth, removing any crumbs and sticky spots. Jack poured water over the fire, causing a hiss and a plume of steam. He stirred the ashes with a stick, ensuring the fire was completely out. Emma gathered their remaining supplies, placing them back into the cooler and their bags. She zipped up the cooler and set it near the tent. Jack folded up the chairs, collapsing them with a soft click, and placed them beside the cooler. He then folded the table, tucking it away neatly. The beach was now dark, lit only by the soft glow of the moon and stars. The waves continued their gentle rhythm, the sound constant and soothing. Emma unzipped the tent door, holding it open as Jack carried their gear inside. They placed their bags at the foot of the blanket, arranging their belongings neatly. Emma and Jack changed into comfortable clothes for sleeping. They placed their day clothes back into their bags, keeping everything organized. Emma unrolled a small mat just outside the tent door, wiping her feet before climbing inside. Jack followed, making sure to zip the tent door securely behind them. Inside the tent, the air was warm and still. The blanket and sleeping bags were soft and inviting. Emma and Jack lay down side by side, their heads resting on small, cushioned pillows. The mesh windows of the tent allowed the cool night air to circulate, while keeping any insects out. Through the mesh, the sky was visible, dotted with countless stars. The moon cast a gentle light, creating a peaceful atmosphere inside the tent. The sound of the waves was clear and steady, a natural lullaby that filled the air. Emma and Jack lay quietly, their bodies relaxed on the blanket. The rhythmic sound of the ocean continued, blending with the soft rustle of the palm leaves outside. The tent provided a cozy shelter, its fabric walls gently illuminated by the moonlight. As the night grew deeper, the sounds of the beach remained constant. The waves rolled in and out, a steady and soothing presence. The palm trees swayed gently, their leaves whispering softly in the breeze. The stars shone brightly, their light twinkling through the mesh windows of the tent. Emma and Jack's breathing became slow and regular as they drifted off to sleep. Their bodies were warm and comfortable inside the tent, protected from the cool night air. The beach remained quiet and serene, a perfect setting for a restful night. The waves continued their soothing melody, the ultimate soundtrack to a peaceful sleep. The campsite was still, the fire pit now cold and dark. The moon continued its journey across the sky, casting a silvery glow on the sand and water. Inside the tent, Emma and Jack slept soundly, their dreams filled with the sights and sounds of the beautiful Hawaiian beach. The night passed quietly, the only movement the gentle rise and fall of the waves. The beach, serene and timeless, cradled them in its natural beauty, promising a new day with the first light of dawn.